Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is still Guns, the guy without the graphics. If you've been a subscriber of my channel for some time, then you'll know that I uploaded a video quite some time ago called I Hate Change. And it wasn't about, oh, I hate the little coins that the shopkeeper gives you once you've given him a £20 note, and he gives you all those little coins. Bearing in mind I do have quite a lot of them in my wallet that I'm never gonna use. Now, what I meant was, when people change things. Like, the Bugatti Veyron, that's no longer being made. It's gonna be the Bugatti Chiron, which is a very ugly car, by the way, and that's another thing. Cars are getting uglier, but something happened recently. On September the 15th, I was told in one of the forums I use, that I frequent, that they were going to be removing some of the themes. Apparently because they were just messes of code. Unfortunately, one of these themes that was getting removed was the one I happened to use. This particular forum was Sufficient Velocity, and this is the theme I used to use. It was called Flexile Dark Old. And yes, there you can see the post saying they're going to disable Flexile Dark Old. No! You see, I'm Aspergic, and I absolutely freaking hate change. I seem to remember that's something my mum told me, that Aspergic people in general don't like change, but for all I know it's just me. Though I have a sneaking suspicion it's not just me, because, well, plenty of people didn't like it when Google decided to change all the layouts on YouTube. When they changed the nice, colourful channels to these boring white things, so everyone's exactly the same. Well, this is my the theme I loved. It's the one I'd always been using. Basically I was used to it, so loved is really the wrong word. I was used to it. And unfortunately this is the only picture I've got of it, so... See, it's a nice theme. If I had a new alert pop up when I was browsing, I'd get a dark box around here pop up and, say you have 1, 2, 3 new alerts or whatever. Do you want to see what it is now? This is the new Flex Dark. And currently I'm really preferring Flex Grey, which is misleading because that's not actually Flex Grey. Because Flex Grey, the new Flex Grey, is about as close as to Flex Dark Old. I hope you can see why I'm having difficulty adjusting. What these people basically did was announce 15 days before they were going to do it, but they announced on September the 15th that they were going to chop my arms off, and there was nothing I could do to stop them. And come the day that they were going to chop my arms off, they didn't come and chop my arms off, and I went to bed feeling pretty happy, feeling maybe they're not going to do it. Maybe something changed, maybe they decided, you know what, we're not going to chop his arms off. Only to wake up and find they'd chopped my arms off. Now sure, that's not exactly my arms, but that's kind of what it feels like. The I Hate Change video was difficult to put into words because I hadn't had anything happen like that recently. I was just going off a few things. This happened yesterday. I found out yesterday, and I was so fucking pissed. I still am pissed. Because either way, I can't find a theme I like. A theme that's close enough to that. I mean, it's too dark. It feels like I'm browsing a totally different site. That's supposed to be grey, not blue. The buttons, the font as well, the font feels smaller somehow. And these were grey. It's just too much blue. Too much dark blue. I could probably change to something else. Let's try flex space. Good God, no, thank you, no, there's still too much blue. How about flex gold? Bit better. However, we still need this, except that needs to be blue. Sorry, I'm using my fingers there. Yeah, that kind of needs to stay, except all the things that is gold needs to be blue, and that shade of blue. That needs to be grey. Basically, everything needs to be, well, that. Because this is cancer. And yes, that's a fucking stupid term, whatever, but I don't care. What the fuck? I'm now convinced that the Flex Grey preview is totally fucking donked. And that's not even a real word, but fuck it. It's not accurate enough. Because that is clearly not the theme I've got. But anyway, yes, there's way too much blue on Flex Grey. If we go to Flex Dark, come on, there's still too much blue. Everything that was grey is now blue, it feels like. I don't like blue. Okay? I fucking hate blue. And I don't want to go to Flex Gold because, well, the things I would... Oh, God. You see, this just pisses me right off. it fucks over me. I'm, I'm just getting so worked up. I'm not even making sense to myself. So, I'm making this. I'm going to put this in my signature. In fact, let's go to one of my most recent posts. One of the complaints I heard was that it now looks like there's 4 posts within a post. There's not sufficient breakage between each post anymore. It's just, dear God, you used to have at least a thick line. I'm pretty sure of that. And now there's barely any space. I'm so upset. You cannot imagine how upset I am. I'm going through a meltdown because there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to change it back, and I don't want this. I don't want it. I want that one back, but... And I realise there are probably going to be some people probably calling me, first world problems or some shit like that. Calling me spoiled. No, I'm not spoiled. I'm not complaining of first world problems. I will reiterate for you, I am Aspergic. If you didn't get that before. I hate when something I don't want is forced upon me. Something I don't want has just been forced upon me, and I am fucking mad. I'm just... I don't know whether to scream and shout or to just sit back in my chair and cry because I am just so worked up. It pains me. I'm just... You have no idea how hard it is to not burst into tears because it's... Like, I go on this site every single day. I don't post every single day, but I've become a part of this community. Look at what I've received. Okay, sure, some of those weren't exactly from mine. Like this guy got himself. He requested a ban because whatever. So I posted some of his stuff, and that got me a few likes. But come on, it's got to stand for something. I've written some stuff that off of my own that's got likes. This site means a lot to me, and for it to do something like this, it feels like I've been stabbed in the back. So, I have no idea. I said I was going to put this in my signature, but I think I'm going to... I don't know where I'd put it. I don't know what the guys would do. I mean, I don't think they'd go so far as to ban me, but... I don't think they'd make a special exception just for me, that they'd reinstate Flexile Dark Old just for me. Because as they said, it's a mess of code, even though it worked perfectly. They're the ones that just kept on putting in unnecessary stuff. Like, I'll fucking go back to changing Destiny. And these tags, they decided that the tags were now going to be in this area. You see, when I came to this site, those tags weren't there. But now there is. Because apparently people search by tags, even though, well, as far as I've heard, no one searches by tags on a forum. As far as I'm concerned, the tags are totally useless. Usually when you search, they fucking search for the things that are in the actual posts, not the tags. But fuck, what do I know? I'm just a unqualified individual who'll never have a... but whatever. Just gonna... You know, if I ever ran a website, I'd make things the way I wanted and then never change it. And then people would try and get me to change it. They'd spew the same bullshit I've been hearing for years now. Fucking hell, microphone's falling off the table. And they've been spewing the same bullshit. Change is a good thing. Is it? Well, last I heard, change didn't do a damn good for anyone. Especially not me. And it matters the most for me, because, well, it's my life. And if it doesn't affect me well, then as far as I'm concerned, it's affecting no one well. I know there are other people who weren't happy about this. But people just seem to have it in their minds that change is a good thing, and I will not accept that. I will not accept this a fundamentally broken way of thinking. And yeah, I know this video's like gone over 20 minutes, but I'm gonna pull up some more examples. So, fuck it. You're gonna watch me. So it's been a couple of days since I recorded that. There's a part 2, so to speak, that's gonna come along. I sort of devolve into a massive ranting twat almost. No, I don't. I made perfect sense to myself. Pretty much. Watch it if you want. And I'll put forward my own way of thinking. But basically, things have changed again. Remember Flex Grey? The closest thing to Flexile Dark Old? Yeah, that's changed as well. Turning what was once the most attractive option for the replacement theme into another unattractive option. Because all the blues that were once pretty bright sort of, are now muted and washed out, and good God, it's like the inside of a funeral parlour, which I'll be going to see the inside of one soon. But yeah, that's fucking great. Basically, if you are here from Sufficient Velocity, I don't know what to say other than what I've put in this. I really don't know what else to say other than I fucking hate change and forcing these new themes upon me. It may be minor for you. This is like fucking... It's like Brexit for me. It's huge. Everything is huge. Like, something else is happening right now. My dad is changing the layout of his home, which has been one of my childhood homes. He's changing things. He's going to knock down an entire wall. He's going to make the room that has always been our lounge into his bedroom. And he's going to combine what used to be his bedroom and the kitchen into a joint living area. I've repeatedly told him, I don't want this. I have no desire for you to destroy my home. One of my homes. Like, this isn't it. This is not a childhood home. But yes, I've repeatedly told him, I will not assist you in the destruction of memories, pretty much. And then, of course, my sister comes along and says, the memories will still be there. Yeah, but the place where the memories were created won't exist anymore. Not in the true sense of the word. It'll be different. It will be totally different. And they keep trying to tell me change is a good thing. And if you watch the second video, which focuses mostly on how Formula 1 went fucking great to shit. But I make a point at the end of that one, and I'm going to point it out here to save you some time if you don't want to watch the second video. But remember, if you're old enough to remember, and if you're not young enough, if you're not old enough to remember, basically New Coke. When Coca-Cola decided that the old Coke, the classic Coke, was not good enough anymore. So they replaced it with New Coke, and they got fucking murdered over that. If they'd insisted and stayed with New Coke, we'd all be drinking Pepsi right now. Because no one would want to drink New Coke. Oh, sure, you'd probably have the few that liked the taste. But Coca-Cola would have died as a company. They went back to classic Coke, as it's mostly known these days, because they keep putting it on the labels even though they have no needs to anymore. Who knows? If change is truly a good thing, why did New Coke fail? And what would happen if New Coke were reintroduced today? Classic Coke chucked out again. Would there still be the same reaction back in 1985? Would there be riots in the streets to bring classic Coke back? Or would everyone suddenly miraculously start loving New Coke. Because that's what everyone would seem to want me to believe, that change is a good thing. So surely, bringing New Coke back and chucking classic Coke out is gonna be accepted. Everyone's going to love that, aren't they? Fuck no. No, you will never convince me that change is a good thing. Never in a million years. And since I'm not even going to be alive for a million years, take your change as a good thing bullshit and stuff it up your fucking arse. Because you are living a lie. Change is a good thing. Yeah. And 9/11 was an inside job.